Good morning, students. Once again, I am with you in the second session of your English class. And last day we started a poem, Friends and Flatterers. In that part, I discussed you first three stanzas and I explained you. With that, I discussed you some of the questions related to that. And today I am here with you all. With your help, I will enjoy and even explain you the second part of the poem, Friends and Flatterers. That is second part. We have some more stanzas here. And so you should be attentive and listen. Student, in the fourth stanza of the poem, you see here, pay attention and try to know what is in this stanza. But if fortune once do frown, means if suppose in your life the bad times comes, your just good times has gone, your good luck has gone, then farewell his great renown. Then your false friends, means flatterers, will tell just goodbye to your popularity, to your here all popularity will be finished. They will no appreciate, they will not give any regard, they will leave your company. They that fawned on him before, the friend, the flatterers, the false friends who paid so deep attention, who paid you attention, one who gave so much time, one who appreciated and admired you so much all the time, use his company no more. In the time of peril, in the time of misfortune, will leave your company, will be no more with you. This is what here the sign of flatterers, false friends. William Shakespeare is telling us, awakening us to distinguish between a flatterer and a true friend, a faithful friend in our life, so that we can choose judiciously who is our friend and who is sycophant, a flatterer. So we should be away from that kind of person. In the next year passage, next stanza that is here, you see, he that is thy friend indeed, he will help thee in thy need. Who is your friend indeed? In reality, a person, a friend who is your real friend, he will help you in your need. The meaning of thy and thee will be you. In the poem, the poets used to just these words here, thy, thee, thou, all these words are used for you. He that is thy friend in need, indeed, a person who is your real friend, who is in really your friend, he will help you in your need. Whenever you are just needing the cooperation, whenever you are in sorrow, when you are in distress, when you are surrounded by several troubles, they will be with you, they will help you in every possible ways. If thou sorrow, he will weep. If you are weeping, as I said earlier, they will weep. If you cry, they will cry. If thou wake, he cannot sleep. If some reason, if some troubles, if for sickness, illness, you are awakening, you are not sleeping, your true friends can never sleep. They can never sleep. They will be restless. They will try to give you comfort and relief. in best possible way they can. So let us see what the next stanza tells us now. And we must remember all these words by Shakespeare. Whenever you are making friends, it's a lesson. This poem is a great lesson for all of us, so that you can identify between a true friend and a flatterer. See the last stanza that is in the poem. Thus of every grief in heart, he with thee doth bear a part. Whenever you are in grief, in peril, in hard times, in the time of sorrow, with every grief, with every pain, sharing in their heart, your true friends. The line is talking about your true friends, your real friends. They will always bear your pain, your grief in their heart. They will share your pain, your grief. They will try always. These are certain signs to know. These are some signs, some indications that you can distinguish faithful friend from flattering foe. You can distinguish, you can know who is your friend and who is a flatterer. Very clear. Everything is very clear. Here now, I will try again to give you some points, some summary, so that through this even video you can write all this, you can understand very well. So what is the content? What is the conclusion and summary, message, moral, and no doubt the teaching of this poem? According to the poet, a person who flatters you is not necessarily your friend. You never think those who appreciate you, admire you all the time, and even never show any of your shortcomings or drawbacks, any weaknesses, they are not your true friend. Their words are like the winds which come, go, and change direction very easily. You can know the direction of the wind. Sometimes in this direction, sometimes in that direction, sometimes at one place here. So you cannot really know and detect the mood of the wind. They can vary and change any time in any direction easily. Like that are the words of the flatterers, the sycophant, those who are false friends in your life. Their words will change according to the situation in your life. He says that as long as you are affluent, rich, wealthy, prosperous, capable, all will be your friend. But when you need some help, no one will come up to help you. But a true friend will always be with you. If you are in sorrow, they will weep with you and will stay awake if you can't sleep. With every grief of yours, he grieves too. He feels pain. This is the sign of true friend. These are the basic differences that must be kept in mind. To segregate a friend from a flatterer. These are what the signs, the indications that you can make differences between a true friend, a faithful and sincere friend, a dedicated friend, from a flatterer. The poem showcases the poet's disappointment, betterment, and realization here of the dark side of the human nature. Here the dark side of human nature is of the flatterer. Now I would like to discuss the remaining part of the exercise, the questions that last day I could not, because that part was not explained to you. So now the whole poem as it explained and whole concept is clear to you. On basis of that, the next question, third is here, read the last line of the poem. How could a flatterer be a foe? Foe means enemy. Foe means enemy. The last stanza of the poem makes us aware to distinguish between a true friend and a foe. That makes us realization who is our true friend, sincere friend, dedicated friend, who can never leave us, and who is a foe, who is our enemy, who can leave any time to us. The poet tells us that our real friend feels grieved, pained in the time of our sorrow, and they share our grief and pain, and always tries to relieve us, to comfort us. But the poet warns us that the flatterers are false. Flatterers are false friends and can never be with us in our bad times, and they start criticizing, condemning. So in this way, who are our friends, who are our enemies, who are our here foe, and who are our friends, we can better know and identify. Next question, that is in the exercise. You must be consulting your book, so you can see fourth question. Which two of these words have meaning? You haven't given 4 words. Out of these 4 words, which 2 words have meaning similar to flatter, and which 2 refer to opposite of it, opposite of flatter? So you are suggested you can refer the dictionary. Here the 4 words that is given: condemn, charm, fawn, criticize. Which 2 words are similar here to flatter? Okay, which 2 these words have meaning similar to flatter, and which 2 refer to opposite of it? Here the similar word of flatter is here charm. Flatter is here no doubt charm and fawn. That is here charm and fawn, which is similar to flatter. And the opposite of that is here condemn and criticize. That is rest 2 words that is left is condemn and criticize. Next is here the phrase faithful friend occurs twice in the poem. This here phrase, that is faithful friend, occurs twice, 2 times in the poem. Can you find similar phrase which stands for its opposite? Which one phrase is opposite of faithful friend? Very clear, very easy. Many of you must have guessed. The opposite phrase of faithful friend in the last stanza is flattering foe. That is flattering foe. You can very easily see that. You can very easily see here the opposite phrase of faithful friend is in the last stanza flattering foe. These were what? The questions from the exercise, and no doubt the words that is given here, highlighted words, they are very easy and practical. You must note down them, you must learn them. That must be in your notebook, all these words, practical words which you can use in your written and spoken both anytime. So this was what the poem Friends and Flatterers. You can see here the mask that is on the face. What is the indication of the mask? This mask is what here? Of the flatterer. Means who is a flatterer, and the words they are telling, that is what? Like a mask. Mask is what? Mask is not that today, these days we are using mask. Mask is what here? Here that the part which covers our full face or the half face or some parts only of the face. Here this mask is here, that is hiding the true face. Means their words are not true. The words that they are telling, flatterers' words are not true. That's false. Their real face is not that what they are telling. So is here to what here? The mask that is here kept in the hand You can see, very easy to understand all this. So you must have enjoyed, I think, this poem well, and I thank you to joining the class. We shall discuss some other topic in the next class, next session of the video. Thank you, students. Thank you very much being with me.